Welcome to another episode of Random Shit. Your hosts today, Kyle and Space Mike. Alright, welcome to another episode of the longest running series, not really, Random Shit. I'm here with my good friend and the founding father of Random Shit, Space Mike.
What's up, everybody? Mike? I'm good. How are you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing alright. I've been keep on keeping on and stuff and all that goodness.
Right on.
Yeah. It's been a long and winding road, not to rip off the Beatles, but I've just been trying to keep my my head above water and just trying to, stay positive and trying to get the show back on to where it was, getting its good 50-something views every month or something. But how's your YouTube channel been and stuff?
Oh, it's been okay. I haven't been very active on that, and I feel kind of bad for that. But just like you, real life has kind of gotten in the way, and lots of other things that have been demanding my attention first, and it just happens. But I've been working on lots of new material to start putting up, and I'm gonna have
that.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that. That's gonna be cool.
I'm gonna be doing two things. I'm going to have like my regular space news show, and then I'm going to be uploading gameplay from Kerbal Space Program that I've been doing.
Nice. Yeah. Right, and for those that don't know, Kerbal Space Program is a space simulation game where you launch rockets that you build or satellites into space, and you can go to different planets and stuff too, right, Mike?
That's right. Yeah, you start off with Earth, and it has a moon, and you can go to Mars, Venus, Mercury, even Jupiter now with a bunch of moons around it.
Oh wow, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's come a long way. I saw it on Steam. I don't even think it's all that expensive. I think it was like $15 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it just became available on Steam. It's still technically in its alpha stage, so how it's already on Steam, I don't know, but
there's so many. Did you ever hear about that whole War Z fucking drama about how they were selling War Z on Steam and it was like basically in an alpha stage and all these features that are in the Steam thing that they promised were not in the game whatsoever. So people were complaining about it, so they had to pull the game off the website.
Wow.
Yeah. So they put there's all this alpha stuff. Now they pre-warn you that hey, this isn't the full complete game. This is only the alpha stage or beta stage, and yeah. But they didn't tell people that. Like, people thought they were getting a full, complete game, and, people were complaining. And plus, I heard the game's pretty goddamn boring anyways. I mean, who needs another fucking zombie game? There's, 10 million zombie fucking games, but we got another one. It's I think something like Kerbal Space Program is cool, and I think it's challenging, and it's something different. And I think a lot of the game industry in general just has been running, a problem of having the same thing come out over and over and over again, and people don't want to, really challenge themselves to play new games because the average gamer just plays fucking Call of Duty and they're content with that, and they'll buy the next Call of Duty that's going to come out this November. It's really just nerve-wracking to me because I like adventure games. I like things that make you think. I just don't like games that are just mindless. I was playing the Walking Dead adventure game and I beat that, and that was really heart-wrenching and it told a really great story. I don't feel games tell good stories anymore. It's just shit, I don't know. I think kids these days are they're just, my, friend's, son, he plays, Call of Duty. And he came over one day to my house, I think it was for Thanksgiving or something. And I had, some, Call of Duty clone on my computer. It was a shooter or whatever. And he was playing it, and I had all these other games. I'm you want to play this or play that? And he's he was just content playing the fucking shooter the entire time. I'm wow, man. It's there's so many more games out there. It's you should really... I remember when I was fucking his age, I was playing, games like Blade Runner and stuff, which I probably shouldn't have, but, it was an adventure game, and there was, a lot of stuff to it. It's very deep. You had to think to, beat it. And I beat that game on my own with, no, help or anything like that. And there's, puzzles you have to solve and all that other shit. It's just, What the fuck? Kids these days. I mean, I'm like for you, like you were like a big Final Fantasy fan when you were growing up, right?
Oh yeah,
Big
Final Fantasy fan.
It's like that fucking game that fucking series has taken a complete fucking dump in the last like 6-7 years.
Yeah,
it's like, oh man.
They ruined everything with Final Fantasy 11 and the online stuff. Ever since then, it's just been crap.
But did you hear about what happened with 13? Like, it was so bad that Square Enix had an issue an apology for it. No, was it 13? No, it was 14. 14, my bad. Final Fantasy 14. 13 was it was supposed to be another MMO. It was so bad, like they were having server issues and all this other stuff. Like, they had to issue an apology and told people, like, we're going to get the game to where it's going to be good. We promise. It's
Wow.
like, oh my god. And I read somewhere if Square Enix makes another mistake like Final Fantasy 14, they could seriously like go bankrupt because they put so much money and so much time into it. It's like, fuck, guys, just work on the single player games. You know what would be an easy cash cow or an easy cash grab for them is if they just remade Final Fantasy 7. I think people would be willing to like hand out so much money for that, and it doesn't make any sense why not to remake it. In this day and age where we remake so many things and like update it to, you know, today's standards, it's so silly not to.
Yeah.
It blows my mind why they don't do that. But then again, I don't know who's running Square Enix or, you know, whatever. I haven't been into like the whole JRPG scene for a long ass time. So.
And honestly, I don't even know what's going on either. But you're absolutely right that it would be a very smart decision to remake Final Fantasy VII. And for a little while there, it looked like they were going to, and then they just kind of abandoned it. And they're just like, oh no, the rumors are false. It's just like,
yeah, which is like, why? Yeah, stupid. That's like, if you're getting someone who's excited about it, who doesn't even own a fucking PS3, or I'm sure they make it put it on Xbox or whatever.
Yeah.
It's such an I'd buy it because it's just
it's like if George Lucas came out with the original Star Wars and instead of coming out with any other Star Wars after that, he's like, oh no, I'm going to make westerns from now on. People just be like, why?
Fucking, he might as well have made westerns. I prefer that over the fucking prequels he fucking made. God, yeah, dude. Like,
we could argue about that. But.
Yeah, I mean, I hate how he bastardized the original films, though, by all the special editions and all that other stuff, how he took out how Han Solo shot first and he made the Guido shoot first and all this other... It's just like, oh my gosh. You get the feeling that like George Lucas really had nothing originally to do with his own product or why it was so good, because I feel like if George Lucas would have been solely in charge of the Star Wars films, I don't think they would have turned out the way they turned out. Because I know the original Star Wars was saved in editing. I heard that it was not very good of a film. There was a lot of inconsistencies and stuff like that, and they fixed it in editing and made it solid and good. And I know he didn't direct the second one, and I'm not sure if he directed the third one or not, but I know he didn't direct Empire Strikes Back. So I don't know if George Lucas is... I think he's just kind of one of those guys that was in the right place at the right time, and he definitely had good ideas and everything, but the characters in Star Wars originally weren't even the characters that are in the films that we love today, you know? Like, they were way different. Like, Han Solo was like a 10-foot tall lizard man, and like, C-3PO was like a used car salesman, more like, not like, you know, it's just so fucking weird. Like, I don't want to know what George Lucas's vision of Star Wars is, because I don't think I would like it. So, it's just one of those things, like, I'm so glad Disney took it over, and there's no more... There's going to be no more from George. I'm sure he's just going to be a consultant and sit in and tell them what he thinks, which really doesn't fucking matter to begin with. So it's just one of those.
So I've been hearing all sorts of crazy rumors that they are going to not only do the a new trilogy, but they're also going to start making standalone films.
That'd be cool.
The guy who directed 300 and the soon to come out Man of Steel, he apparently is trying to pitch. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Seven Samurai to Kurosawa film.
Oh, that's awesome.
He wants to remake Seven Samurais in Star Wars.
Oh, cool. That'd be fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be cool. Speaking of Man of Steel, I know you're a big Superman fan. Are you excited about it?
I think so. I haven't really been like getting that into it. Like I was a really big Superman fan when I was a kid, and I collected a bunch of comics and stuff, which I still have.
Yeah, no,
but like
it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. But I don't know, like it got to a certain point where, like the series of Superman started over right around like the time that I was born.
Yeah,
And they restarted it again when I was like 16, 17 years old.
they did a reboot. Was it right when Superman died? Was it like Doomsday killed him and stuff?
No, they didn't reboot it then. They
Okay.
killed Superman and he came back to life. That was a
Okay.
whole other like epic fucking like story arc for a long time.
Okay. See, that shows how much I
That's
know.
where like the Steel character came from that Shaq played.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
That's where Superboy came from. Like all these different guys. The Superboy that's the clone of Superman, and
Yeah.
just all these different guys came from was from that. The Eradicator. Anyway, I don't know. Like I was really disappointed by Superman Returns.
Oh, I think everybody was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did not make sense to make it a sequel to all the other films. Did not make sense whatsoever.
No, not at all. Why do that? Just reboot it. Just fucking.
And there was no villain. There was no fucking villain.
No, it was Lex Luthor.
Yeah, what was the point?
Whatever, yeah. I mean, he has a kid, and the kid's super strong, and he can throw a piano at a guy and kill him. It's just like, my god. No, that sucked.
Yeah.
No, I remember seeing that with my mom, and she liked it and stuff, and she's like, why didn't you like it? I'm like, it's just boring. It's like nothing happened for like 2 hours or an hour and a half, however fucking long that was. I was like, oh my god. It's like, Jesus Christ, I'd rather get a fucking root canal than watch this shit. It's just not fun, you know? It's like Superman should be fun.
Yeah.
It should be fun. Like, besides they totally played off that whole action scene where he saves Lois from the plane, and that was like gonna be, that's what got me to want to go see the movie, because I thought there was gonna be a lot of like this is gonna be the first Superman where they can actually like do it right with all the CG and everything, and I was so thoroughly disappointed. I was like, fuck this, man.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
So that's kind of where, a lot is kind of riding on this movie right now. Like, this movie has to succeed if DC wants to continue making films.
They should have just, I don't know if Christopher Nolan would ever be up for it, but they should have just gotten him to do the Superman. I don't know if he'd be able to do the same touch he did with Batman. No matter, I didn't like the last Batman film. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Yeah,
Dark Knight Rises. Boring. Oh my god, man. It's like, just get to the fucking point. I get what's gonna happen. Like, I knew, it's so shitty Heath Ledger died because but back to Superman. Like, yeah, I think everything is totally riding on if this is gonna become a franchise for DC and they could actually capitalize off it. Which it should. It's fucking Superman.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, this should not be hard. This should be a no-brainer, you know.
But I mean, from the shit that I have seen, like the pictures and stuff, I like the redesign they did for his suit. It looks modern. It looks realistic. Like I could actually see a dude flying around in that suit instead of the traditional Superman suit.
Yeah, the really light blue, it looks badass.
With the red underwear.
The new Superman suit looks badass. It really does.
Yeah. So if it's awesome, and if it's actually a reboot and starting over, which it fucking should be.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
As long as it's that and it's fucking awesome and it's fucking epic, I'm gonna love it, and then they'll continue to make all the other DC movies that they're planning on making. They want to make a Justice League movie, which could be almost as big as the Avengers, if DC succeeds and is able to follow through with their plans.
Dude, don't you think they're kicking themselves for, Marvel coming out and getting the Avengers out? And I think the Avengers was, one of the top-grossing films of all time. I think it made so much goddamn money. I'm sure the guys at DC are
top-grossing Marvel movie, at least.
Yeah, I'm sure they're sitting there at DC and just going, what the fuck? It's like, we should have had all that. Like, in my opinion, I know a lot of you Marvel fanboys out there are going to be saying, no, Marvel has better characters. But I'm like, I am a big fan of the DC characters because that's who I'm more familiar with. That's who I grew up with as a kid. Outside of Aquaman, I think Green Lantern's a fucking badass, Flash is a badass, Batman's a badass, and Superman's a badass, and Wonder Woman's even a badass. I think all of them, that should be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It should be a no-brainer to make. And our Martian Manhunter, or whatever his name is, he's badass too. That should not be fucking hard to do. Come on.
And honestly, I like that you bring up Green Lantern. They made a Green Lantern movie. And
God.
I thought it was good. I thought it was kind of good, but it was a flop. Excuse me, it was a flop.
I think it was just too campy, in my opinion. I didn't think it was bad. To be honest with you. It's not a bad film. But I think if they would have taking the same seriousness. Like, you got Christopher Nolan who did these Batman films, and everyone's going to look at the rest of the DC films and hold it up to that standard. And I know that's not necessarily fair, but it really should be just rising the bar in general for just comic book movies. We should be getting it to the next, we should really be getting to the next point. I don't know if my nerd card's going to be taken away or not, but I never saw Avengers. Maybe I should, download it or whatever, stream it or watch it tonight.
Taking it away from you right now.
Yeah, I probably should lose it. Probably people out there that are listening to this are gasping in horror and screaming, no! Because, I've heard from a lot of people.
Did you see any of the Iron Man movies or Captain America or Thor or any of that shit?
I saw Iron Man 1, I saw Iron Man 2. I did not see Captain America. I saw Incredible Hulk. I didn't see Thor. But I heard Thor and Captain America wasn't bad, so I don't know. I should check it out.
Yeah, they weren't bad. I enjoyed both of them. And honestly, to understand the Avengers, you should watch both of them.
Okay, so I'll check both of them out then.
Yeah.
But so back to Superman, are you gonna go see it in theaters? Or are you just gonna wait to hear what people think about it? Or are you gonna wait until it comes out on DVD and then check it out then? What was your opinion on that?
Well, I'm going to try to go see it in theaters, but keep in mind that I'm broke ass right now, and I haven't even seen Iron Man 3 yet. I want to still see it in the theaters, but, fingers crossed that I'll have the extra money and the extra time and a ride to go do it.
Is Iron Man 3 out now?
It is. It just came out.
Did it get positive reviews?
Oh, people are going fucking nuts right now.
Okay.
And I don't want to hear anything about it because I don't want to have spoilers.
Yeah, you're don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin it. I don't know if this is going to get me flack either, but the villain seemed kind of weak. I can't remember his name, but I'm just oh, okay, whatever.
See, that's the thing. I don't even know the Iron Man story. I never really read Iron Man. So
go ahead. I'm sorry. What are you saying, Mike?
I don't even know who the villains are or anything. Be oh, he should have had this guy instead or whatever. I don't even know.
Yeah,
but I like the Iron Man.
I always got because I watched the cartoon series, and I don't know how much the cartoon series is canon to the comic book. Probably not at all. But he was always fighting Doctor Doom. I'm how can you not put Doctor Doom in Iron Man? I thought they're kind of just opposed to fucking fight each other. It they're both scientists. Wouldn't that just work out perfect? I know they ruined Doctor Doom in those fucking horrible, god-awful Fantastic Four films. I'm glad they didn't. Oh god, those movies are god-awful. No. Fucking, oh my god. I had a friend that tried to sell me on those films saying that they were good, and I was like, no dude, these are just horrible
There's a lot of Marvel movies that were terrible.
Yeah, they fucking ruined the Silver Surfer, man. They should have made
Silver Surfer? Fuck, that movie was awful. Daredevil was fucking awful. The Elektra, what?
Yeah, that was just a cash grab. I don't know why the fuck you would even make... Elektra without Daredevil makes no goddamn sense. Period. I know there's an Elektra comic book for all you nerds out there. I fucking get that. But Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Yeah.
No. But I don't know. I'm hoping for the best for Superman. Is there any other big blockbuster films that are coming out this year? Or out this summer, I mean?
Fuck yeah, Star Trek.
Oh, Star Trek's not out yet?
Star Trek is coming out May 28th or some shit like that.
Okay, I thought Star Trek was already out.
No, it's coming out this month, though.
I think that's going to be good. I got my dad finally to watch the one that came out a few years ago, because he was just oh, Star Trek. He's that's fucking boring, blah, 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 blah. He's I don't want to watch that. And he was holy shit. I'm I told you, Dad. I'm going to fucking lie to you. They're not sitting around talking about, thermal readings for a half an hour. Shit is fucking, I told him, it's like Star Wars. It's fucking action-packed. And I think that's good for Star Trek because it's bam, 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 bam. The space battles are way more fucking crazy and everything else. It's dope.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams, I think, really gets it on how to. I know diehard fans of the series aren't so happy with it, but I think in general, I think he's doing a fantastic job at what he's doing. I don't think you can do a better job with getting the general public to be able to watch Star Trek. Because I know there's people that aren't even Star Trek fans that are excited to see this.
Oh, dude, there was girls that I was talking to who, wear Gucci and, are super, those type of girls.
Yeah.
Who said they went and saw it and loved it. I was like, wait, you saw Star Trek and liked it? What?
Because it's not traditional Star Trek. It's the guys from Red Letter Media said it best. It's adrenaline, it's just adrenaline. It's they're running all the time, and there's all this stuff going on, it's not Star Trek. I mean, like, I know to a Star Trek fan, I can see how they can say, oh, it's not Star Trek, because they're not sitting around and, like, it's not deep thought. It's just like, this is happening, action scene. It's like, I think it still tells a good story. Overall, like, how they have, how it's, like, not the same universe, and it's, like, shot off of another, I think it's perfect. Good idea. I think it works well. It's executed just great. The update of, like, how the Enterprise looks and everything looks fucking fantastic. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I think it works just fucking great. And, like, who didn't want to know what was going on while they were young? I think that's awesome. You got a bunch of good-looking guys.
Honestly, like, Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, he wanted this to happen. There's an interview that I just saw a couple of days ago that was from, like, 1970-something, where he was like, I would love for someone else, after I'm gone, or even now, to restart Star Trek, get a whole new cast of characters, fresh faces, but, you know, with the same old characters that you know and love, and redo it, do it right. You know, he said that, and fucking, like, so it's just like, it's happening.
No, it's perfect. Yeah, you know, and I think it makes all the side characters a lot more important than they were necessarily in the original television show, because a lot more is going on. There's that whole love triangle with Spock and Uhura and fucking Kirk and all this other. It's good. It's what you need to do, because there's drama. There's all this other stuff. I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan in the world, but I do like shows like Deep Space Nine, and I do like I like The Next Generation a lot, because you got me turned on to it. But I think this is where you should go with it. I think if you want to make money off of Star Trek, this is the way to go.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think doing another Next Generation film was going to do it. I don't think all those guys are pushing, you know, their 50s now anyways, or in their late 40s or whatever. It's not. They
did too much with that. They ran its course with it.
It did, and I like Next Generation. I think it's a great fucking show.
I wish they'd made a DS9 movie and a Voyager movie. Just like one for each. That would have been perfect.
No, it would have been perfect. No, you're right. And just wrap it up and everything else. Like, those television shows, you either love them or you hate them, you know? It's like one of those things. It's like, you're either a big fan of it or you don't like it at all. And it's kind of weird that I'm kind of like in the middle on it, because I like some Star Trek and some Star Trek I'm just like, like falling asleep at. But I definitely am a fan of these films. I'm going to drag my girlfriend to go see it. I thought it was already fucking out. I was
wrong. It actually comes out on May 16th.
Oh, okay, May 16th. May 16th. Yeah, I'm definitely going to drag next Thursday. I'm definitely going to drag my girlfriend to go see it. I want to see, I know it's probably going to be bad, and I didn't like Hangover 2 at all, but I definitely will probably go see Hangover 3 just to finish it, just to get it out, because that's coming out soon too. But I don't know. I'm still on the fence still if I'm going to see Superman or not, because I want to watch it, because I do like Superman. I love the original films. I just don't know. Do you know who's going to be the villain in it? Is it just going to be Lex Luthor again?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Oh my God.
If it's a reboot, then
it's got to be. Yeah.
Then there would be a lot of stuff that they could cover, but I don't know. Like, it just depends.
Here's a good question, Mike. Here's a good question. If you were going to remake Superman, if you were in charge of rebooting it, how would you go about doing it? Like, what would be in the first film?
Okay, so in the first film, what I would want to do is I would want to give kind of like okay, so if you remember watching Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, at the beginning of the movie, they went back like 2,000-3,000 years to where all the bullshit started from. It was Sauron and the ring and the humans taking it and all that bullshit. And so I liked how they did that, and they gave all this huge history in like a 10-minute montage at the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
So I would want to do something similar and give like the history of Krypton and explain who these people are and where their solar system was and, explain their history and how they got, and I really liked the reboot when I was reading the comic books from 1986 to 2002, 2003.
Yeah.
And their version of Krypton I really liked because the history of that, and I would obviously reboot it and, rearrange it and kind of tell it the way I wanted to, but they started making clones and had their own version of their Clone Wars because they had clones that weren't sentient, that they would harvest parts from to extend their lifespans and to be healthy and perfect all of the time.
Yeah.
And someone woke up a clone one day, and it was sentient, and it was unique and individual from the original person that it was cloned from. It was not that person. It was its own person with its own thoughts and its own feelings and its own desires and likes and dislikes and whatever. So war breaks out. They devastate their planet in nuclear warfare, and they all become this segregated society that live in their own mansions alone, all spread out across the planet, and they grow new people, by harvesting, eggs and sperm and creating them in a lab somewhere by robots. Like, people aren't even involved in the growing of new babies and nursing them and everything. And they have these biomimetic suits that completely enclose them off from the rest of their environment except for their face.
Yeah.
And I liked that because Superman's father, he was super curious. He was a scientist. And he was the one who, helped to figure out that, oh, fuck, all that nuclear warfare we did caused a problem in the core of our planet, and it's about to explode.
Yeah.
But before he figured that out, he was very curious because every Kryptonian is required to donate, eggs and seed to create new Kryptonians. And he was curious about who his seed was being mixed with.
Yeah.
And he discovered the woman that they had created a child with. And
Okay.
I forget what her name was. I think it was Laura or something like that.
So did they fall in love? Is that what happened?
He falls in love with her because he starts watching her. And the reason why he starts watching her is because she's a scientist. So he's like, oh, she's in the same sort of shit that I'm into. So I'm going to start watching her. And then through that, he's never really had that much interaction with other people before.
Yeah, connection.
And so watching this person, this beautiful woman, and obviously falls in love with her. And so I would want to tell that story, I would want to tell the story of the Kryptonians and tell
you easily could do that in 20 minutes. It's not something it's not something that's going to
take up half the movie. It'd just be the beginning of the movie to kind of set the tone and
so
set
you really understand where Superman comes from and really understand his you're right.
Yeah. And when his rocket ship, takes off and is on its way towards Earth, then roll the fucking credits.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant, actually.
Roll the credits while his little capsule is traveling through space.
That'd be fun. No, that's pretty fucking smart. And then when he gets to Earth, how would you have it go through? How much time would you spend on his childhood years, his formative years before he became Superman? Would you spend 30 minutes? Or would you spend
I would want to spend 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes on Jonathan and Martha Kent, and when they found him as a baby, and kind of that whole thing of kind of how they were able to convince their neighbors that they had a baby in the middle of winter and they weren't able to get to a hospital or whatever their excuse was. Just kind of focus on them and tell who are these two simple farmers that find Superman. Kind of tell their brief story and how everything was set up that they were able to keep the child and decide to raise him and convince everyone that it's normal and they didn't find him or kidnap him or something like that. And then in
this day and age, fucking people do that. Yeah.
And that would have to be explained,
Yeah, no, totally.
And then from there, do a 5-minute montage and kind of have him grow up and then have a kind of slow down for a minute and show an incident when he's a young kid, maybe 9 or 10 years old, where he does something that's kind of amazing, but not necessarily Superman amazing yet.
Yeah.
But something still that kind of tips off, the Kents that he's special, a little extra special.
Yeah.
And then, you know, fast forward to when he's, you know, entering puberty and he does something more cool. And then fast forward to the Smallville era when he's in high school. And, you know, just maybe do a little bit, like maybe spend like another 10, 15 minutes there, because that actor would probably be the same actor when he's a full adult.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And we would do like CGI or makeup or whatever we'd have to do to make him look slightly younger. You wouldn't have to do much work with that though. But that would be the actor that you would introduce that, okay, this is Superman for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And that high school like period, you would have something, you know, maybe it's only like 10, 15, 20 minutes long where that kind of locks in his moral character and where he decides that he needs to use his abilities for the betterment of all mankind.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No,
there needs to be something like that because honestly, like if a Superman came today and like if you know one of us were fucking, it'd be so easy to be a bad guy and use your.
Oh my god, with our culture and our society, especially how like high school is. I mean, yeah. I don't know if someone would get out of like, oh, I need to use my powers for the betterment of all kind. I think a lot of people would be like, oh, let's make that money. Let me have power, you know, and power corrupts, and that's why Superman is such a great character because he uses his power for good, not for evil, you know, and he's very benevolent, which is just so, you know, we know most people that have power in this world, they're not benevolent at all, and they don't care about anybody.
Yeah.
So that's why he's such a great character, and that's why, you know, he fucking represents hope, you know, and he represents purity and good in man and everything else, and yeah, you know, it's like putting up against someone like Lex Luthor. That's such a great villain for him because Lex Luthor has money and he's all about, you know, he doesn't care about people. He's fucking a narcissistic, maniacal sociopath that doesn't, you know, only really cares about himself and the betterment of himself and making money and everything else. So it's, I don't like.
They're the polar opposites.
They're the polar opposites. Yeah, the duality is totally there, and it's just, yeah, man. I hope. With how your vision of it, I hope they can, if they just do like half of that stuff, I think they'll be better off. Because they really do need to reintroduce Superman, because there's kids that really don't know who Superman is or whatever else, and just really reintroduce the lore and everything and just update it just a little bit, and it'll be golden. They'll make a lot of money off of it. Because
what I would love to do is, like, in that movie, like, introduce Lex Luthor, yes, as the polar opposite of Superman, but I would want to take, like, a Japanese storytelling slant and make it so that he's not the bad guy.
Yeah, I get you.
You still sympathize with him. Kind of like what they did with Smallville of making him his friend and you actually liked him and cared about Lex Luthor. You know, he's the polar opposite and there's all these evil things about him, but you still care about him. So he's not the bad guy that dies at the end of the movie. You'd have someone else that would just be some bad guy that you don't give a fuck about, that you pull out of the fucking catalog of Superman shit that would die at the end of the movie or whatever.
Yeah, it's a bad decision to do that. Yeah, don't do that. Because, yeah, you're right. Because if you just pull some random villain that he fought, oh god, yeah, that's not going to. Yeah.
Well, that would just be like the other thing, because I would want to make Lex Luthor a main character so that if there were sequels, that Lex Luthor could be a part of every single one. And in some movies, he might not even play that big of a role. And in other movies, he might, you know, be like, fuck you, Superman. I'm finally going against you, and I'm going to fucking really try to kill you this time. You know, and I'm going to do that by summoning Brainiac on you or something like that.
Here's the big question. Would you have Kryptonite be in the first film?
Maybe.
Okay.
I would want to take a completely different thing with Kryptonite, because Kryptonite was fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
That did not make any fucking sense. So this is what I'm thinking. I think that Kryptonite there should be just a handful of rocks that came along with his spaceship, because he's making an interstellar spaceship. Like, honestly, like, we should make it so that he, like, is traveling as a baby in, like, cryosleep for, like, 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Long fucking time. Krypton blew the fuck up a long ass time ago.
Time ago, yeah.
Yeah, parts of it went everywhere, but it's just one small fucking planet. It's a speck of dust that is, you know, several trillion miles away from us, another speck of dust. So how the fuck would we get all this kryptonite here unless we're doing interstellar spaceflight to find these tiny little rocks somewhere?
Yeah.
So have a handful that's trailing behind his spaceship and that lands in the same spot that he lands, as a baby. And, the Kents find the baby first and they walk off with them. And after they leave, then the military shows up, takes the UFO, takes all these weird rock samples, and takes them off to somewhere unbeknownst, and you don't know where the fuck. But it's just only going to be a really small supply. Think about it like moon rocks. There is supply about the same amount as moon rocks somewhere in a secret facility laboratory that, Lex Luthor will discover and get all of it. But there's only a very, very small amount.
Well, yeah, it's a finite. Yeah, because you're right, because it seems like in every Superman anything that's made into movies or that god-awful television show, I don't know if you remember during the 90s, it was just fucking everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Kryptonite was fucking everywhere. Mm-hmm. It was like over the fucking top. You're right, it doesn't make any sense. Like, how would they have something from a planet that's so goddamn far away? No, you're right.
And this is the thing, too, like, Kryptonite was only harmful towards Superman. But I think that it should be harmful towards everyone.
Yeah.
Because it has radioactive properties or something like that.
Yeah, we all know radiation is like real safe. Yeah, my God. Yeah. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely fucking right. It should be dangerous towards everybody.
Yeah. So like Lex Luthor, like if he were to create a ring with a little bit of kryptonite in it, like his hand would fall off by after a couple of months.
Yeah. So give him radiation poisoning. No, that's way more brilliant because it adds a lot more. It affects us badly, but to Superman, it's like instant death. And I think that's
not necessarily instant death, but it does hurt him. But the whole thing is it sets him back to being one
human.
Of us.
Okay,
yeah.
I see.
His skin can now be pierced. He can fucking, whatever.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And there could be times when he's not using his powers when he's around kryptonite, but he doesn't even realize it.
Okay, that'd be fucking cool.
That might be kind of cool.
Yeah,
but
no, it's just a new idea. It's like,
I wouldn't want kryptonite to be a big plot device that's used over and over and over again. In fact, if it was used, even in the first movie, I would want him to find the box that they keep it all in, and he grabs it and goes out into space, flies it out, and just destroys it with his fucking laser eyes or something like that. So there's no more kryptonite.
Yeah,
that's it.
No, because it's something easy to rely on.
Then no more.
Yeah. Do you think they will? Do you think in the new films? Do you think they'll use kryptonite? You think it's just that's a given?
Probably.
Yeah.
How they do it though is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And again, they might want to pull a fucking 180 and be like, "Oh, there is no kryptonite."
Yeah. Who fucking knows? Yeah. Who fucking knows? I am all for. I'm really for whatever. If it's a new idea and if it's a new spin, I think that's the way to go with Superman. They need to do what they did with Star Trek or whatever, a bunch of these films, like Batman. They just need to put a new spin on it. Update it a little bit, make it a lot more realistic. Don't make it so, campy and shit like that, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. I mean, if you make it something that adults can watch too, as well as kids, you're way better off. Instead of just making it so god-awful. Man of Steel or whatever, or not Man of Steel, was it Superman Returns? Yeah, Superman Returns, I don't know who the fuck that film was for, Because it wasn't really for kids, because it's kind of goddamn boring, and if it's for adults, it's just so run-of-the-mill. I don't know. God, that Brandon Roth kid's got to be kicking himself, because he's probably or adult, and he's older than us. Probably the Brandon Roth guy's probably shit, that was supposed to make me. He's supposed to be fucking Superman. Who's the new Superman? I even looked that up, or I don't even know.
I don't know.
I gotta look that up.
I don't recognize him. I don't know what he's from.
Well, that's a good thing, too. You probably should have, you don't want a recognizable guy. Let's just hope he can fucking act. That's really about it. Because you don't want someone that is a known talent. That's why, Christian Bale was well known, because he was in films and stuff before, and I knew who Christian Bale was, but I thought he was a perfect choice to play, Batman. I didn't think he was bad at all. I thought he made a great Bruce Wayne. Man of Steel, fucking...
Henry Cavill. I don't know who that is.
Henry Cavill, okay.
I hope you people listening at home are entertained by us doing Google searches.
Yeah, I know, no joke. If you made it this far, you should definitely give yourself a pat on the back. Fucking trooper. You know what? He could be a good Superman. He could be a good fucking Superman. You know?
Yeah.
He looks kind of like Bradley Cooper a little bit.
Yeah, mix between that guy and God damn, I can't remember I don't even know what his name is actually.
Don't matter.
I can't think of him. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, but yeah, I'm excited about it. Wow, we already ran 38 minutes. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That's good. That's because we were really, that's how I want to do this this podcast. I just want to be things that we like to talk about, and we talk about it. Whatever the fuck it is, it doesn't matter. So what else has been going on, Mike? I know that you're in a band and stuff. Like, how's that been going?
Yeah, it's actually been going really good. I'm in Audio Martyr, which is Michael Coe's band. And we've written a whole bunch of new songs, and we're in the middle of recording a new demo / EP of those like rough recordings. And we're going to be having a ton of shows coming up. We actually have one the day after Star Trek comes out on the 17th. And
nice.
That's going to be awesome. And we're just our whole point is just kind of letting people know that Audio Martyr still exists, and we're making version 2.0. For those of you that don't know, our mutual friend Michael Coe, he used to have this band with his like best friend from childhood, Jeff Heatherly, and unfortunately it wasn't able to work out after a year of doing it. So I was lucky enough to become a part of it and help to complete out the rest of the band. And
trying to salvage the pieces left of that stuff. I mean, it's got to be hard to because they seemed really. At a point in time, they seemed really motivated and dedicated to do it, and they just all seemed just like I came and I did some Futurecast Now episodes, and it just went. It's like, oh, that was really depressing to me because I was like, fuck, man, like that was a really good idea. They were gaining subscribers. There was definitely a viewer base there. It's sad. I'm glad that you guys are redoing it and you're restructuring it and making it, I'm sure, even better than it was. I'm sure it's going to, the full band and everything, I'm sure it's great. I haven't had a chance if I can check you guys out live. I'll definitely go to a show soon. Like, I need to. So, how many shows have you guys played so far?
We played 3 so far.
Nice.
And they've all been pretty nice, just different local places around here in Phoenix. I don't know, with each one we've been getting better and better, and it's funny though, our drummer has suddenly, even though I've played with him for years and played several shows with him before that he never cared about, he suddenly has developed a very bad case of stage fright.
What?
Yeah, I don't know why or how, but he's been super nervous before shows and messing up. And one show he drank a bunch before the show to help calm his nerves.
Oh,
and
no,
of course, drank too much and just messed up even more. So it's just like, having to babysit him.
You guys are oh no, that's the fucking worst. For people that don't know that aren't musicians, your drummer is probably one of the biggest important parts of keeping everybody in sync with each other. And if your drummer's just going off on tangents or whatever else, or he's not keeping rhythm, it's, oh my god, it's
awful.
It's god awful, and it can screw. Did you guys ever have to start over a song, or was it what would happen? Describe.
Well, there was this one song where it might not have even been any fault of his, but his drum set pretty much fell apart. It was something that you would see in a cartoon or something like that. His snare drum fell off. At the same time, he flipped one of his fucking cymbals off, and then one of his toms just fell off at the same time. And it's just what the fuck happened? And it's unbeknownst to all of us. The rest of us are sitting there playing, rocking out the audience, and suddenly the drums fall out, and we're just looking back, what the fuck? And we see this guy tumbling over his drum set, being oh fuck, trying to put the pieces back together. And we're what the fuck? So the song stops. We all rush over and put it back together, and we're just dude, get your shit together. And we didn't even try to restart it. We were only not even halfway through it. We just moved on to the next song.
Oh my god, man.
They all had an interjection. We're God damn it! If you embarrass us in public one more time, we're gonna
Well, I mean, like you said, that sounds like something that wasn't his fault. That sounds like it's something that just, it happened, and it could happen to anybody, Like someone's guitar strap falling off or whatever else. It happens. I mean, shit. That's pretty funny, though. I can imagine sitting in the crowd and watching that. I'd probably start laughing. It'd be pretty fucking funny. But, so how many songs did you guys play when you played your shows, like, all together? Like, you guys play, actually, let me rephrase that. How many songs do you guys have written already?
About 14.
Oh, wow. Shit.
Yeah,
So
we have a full album's worth already. We have the set list all figured out, and we're just trying to record everything so that we can, make adjustments as necessary. Yeah. And, even the recordings that we have been doing, like I've been, kind of whatever about it. And Michael Coe thought that they were just going to be super shitty recordings. And they're turning out a lot better than any of us expected.
Oh, for sure.
So we might even use it for the album. We're not even sure yet. So.
Yeah, man. Well, it's not bad, at least to, yeah, man. You just gotta get it done. Like when we were doing Hipsters Make Me Sick and stuff like that, there was never any like, oh, this is gonna be, the material to do whatever. My attitude to you was, let's just do it. Let's get it fucking done with it. Like, I want to at least get some music, produced, and that's it. It's good just to get it out. And the fact that you guys already have fucking 14 songs, you guys can already play shows, and you can play different songs every time you guys play shows. It doesn't always have to be the same set. So that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Is there any like crowd favorites, or has you guys not played enough shows yet to get anyone's like?
Yeah, it's not really to that point yet. Like we're right now like trying to go about it in a couple different ways to try to gain new fans. That's the whole thing right now. It's just gaining fans because they have done an amazing job online of getting tons of fans online.
Oh,
between his Reverb Nation Facebook page, Twitter, and YouTube, he has over 18,000 fans online. We have. I'm part of it now.
Yeah.
But locally though, here in Arizona, like they played several shows, in the first conglomeration of the band, and they never really got that core guy that comes to every one of your shows, and never really gained a following here because they just didn't really play shows, and it wasn't a routine thing.
Yeah.
And my whole thing now is like I have been in so many bands and played so many shitty shows that I don't even want to play a show unless there's guaranteed like 20 people there or something.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to show up and have there be like 4 people and they're getting drunk and they don't even care what the fuck is going on stage. Because as a musician, I can understand like that is very disenchanting. You're like, oh well, why the fuck should I even fucking care if like no one's even showing up and no one. It's why it's good to play with other bands and stuff, which is how you guys have been doing. You guys have been getting out there with other groups, which is excellent. But I can understand what you're saying. Like you don't want to just show up and have there be 4 people and they don't even know who the hell you are. And they're not even interested, like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
That's not fun at all. I can totally understand that.
So right now, it's just trying to figure out how to get people out, because most of these places that, do have local shows usually charge a cover, and, people our age, just don't have money. We're going to school, we're paying bills, we're trying to feed kids or whatever, and we just don't have any money. No one wants to go drive somewhere, and spend their evening and spend all this money just to get in the door.
Well, you gotta think about
they don't even know if they like it yet.
Yeah, you gotta think about it this way. I mean, like gas, like depending where it is, I mean, so that's gonna be like $10, and then you get there if there's like a cover charge, that's usually like $5-10, and then
you want to spend at least like $20-30 on drinks and food.
Yeah, for a band that maybe you don't even know anything about, that's that's just it's hard, man. The music industry is one of the most hardest industries to get a break into. It's totally not easy.
Yeah.
But I think the route that you guys are going with being online and stuff like that is a much better way to get seen. But obviously, I mean, you guys already have so many, say like 18,000 fans on Reverb, or through Twitter, Reverb Nation, and everything else. Like, that's going to be your guys' bread and butter. And then just slowly but surely, you can build up that local fan base, and you'll get there. I mean, my God, you guys are definitely talented enough. I know you guys well enough to know that. If you guys keep at it and keep going positive and stuff like that, you guys will be fine. It's not an issue. It's not an issue. I mean, like, fuck, dude, with my electronica stuff, I never, I got fucking, like, 700 and something fans now. Like, I never thought anyone was gonna ever care about my fucking music that I was making or whatever. That's just shit I made on my computer. It was not, like, like a band or anything like that. So, the internet is definitely the place to be if you want to share music, for sure.
Absolutely. And that's kind of my whole thing too. I don't want us to waste time, playing a bunch of shows that no one is showing up for and we're not making any money on when we could be making a shitload of money online. And so, I want to play live shows, but I want them to be successful live shows. And something that I've been pitching to Michael is let's do an online show. Let's get the capability so that we could play a show online. People could, all those 18,000 or, 1/10 of them maybe, could actually show up.
1/10 shows up. That's a lot of people. 1/10 shows up. That's a lot of fucking people, dude.
Fuck
You know? Yeah, so it's like, no, fuck yeah. If you do something online, and you can figure it out how to play online, and you guys could, that'd be fucking awesome. You got a lot of people that fucking show up to that, and if you guys did that like once a month or whatever, and you guys just played like new songs that you've written or whatever else.
Yeah.
That's good promotion, and you can sell CDs or whatever else, because that's the way that's the future in my mind of the music business anyways, is online. Because music is so accessible, and you can just, it's at your fingertips, I could go find a new band from fucking Sweden that I've never fucking heard of, and, download all their songs and buy a t-shirt and everything else. And I think merchandise is another good area for you guys, because I think if you guys get into that you'll make money. I mean,
yeah.
It's a good name. It's a good name for the band.
Our problem right now is just getting the capital to get all the merchandise.
Oh, for sure, because that's expensive, man. Making t-shirts is not a fucking cheap thing. That's not something that's just like, oh yeah, I'll just print out like 300 t-shirts. Like, that's fucking expensive. Like, that's not, it's not just something, I have all this like free money lying around. If you want to spend like $500, $600, which, most people aren't willing to do unless you're going to see some type of real return from it. And that's completely understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, Audio Martyr, are you guys, is there going to be more Futurecast Now episodes, or is that just kind of up in the air right now?
Yes, we are planning on doing a season 2 of Futurecast Now. But the problem that we're in right now is season 1 kind of ended off with a cliffhanger. But it wasn't even a real cliffhanger. It just kind of ended. Oh,
yeah, it ended abruptly. There is so many problems with that because, there's characters now that aren't even around anymore that we can't even, it's just like,
we need to explain, like, where Jeff is. The point is like, do we just want to be in front of the camera and be like, things didn't work out, Jeff left, or, like, make a story out of it or do something crazy out of it, So, we got to explain that. We got to introduce all of us new people and, and I think that is kind of going to be the, determining factor of whether or not, we can continue at the same sort of motivation and speed that it was in the past. Because, if we get out there and no one likes the new music and no one likes the new people, then fuck. Or it could go in the complete opposite direction. People would be like, oh my God, I fucking love it. These new guys are fucking hilarious. They're awesome. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I feel is different about, this time around is Michael has always been giving it 100%. But this time he's in a band with, 3 other people that actually give a fuck and, are giving 100% too. Not that Jeff didn't give a fuck. I'm not trying to dodge.
We're not painting Jeff in a negative picture. It's like if somehow, Jeff, you found this podcast and you've listened for 51 seconds or 51 minutes and, in your 59 seconds you're still listening to this. Like, we're not painting you in a negative picture. Hey, it happens to everybody. You get into something and if your heart's not in it, I can understand, or whatever else, for whatever reasons that were going on. I'm not really certain, and I don't really know, and I'm not going to pretend I know. It happens. Not all bands stick together. Being in a band is one of the hardest things to do because it's not only on you. You're not the only one that can carry it. It's everybody else who's involved that's going to make it better. And, I think what was going on, though, with the whole Audio Martyr thing was that was going on, and then the filming of Futurecast Now maybe it just became a little too much, and maybe Jeff didn't bargain for all this shit, and he didn't think things were going to become,
And Jeff's whole thing, too, was he was hesitant and resistant to do the videos in the first place.
Yeah.
He didn't want to have anything to do with the videos. He thought the videos were stupid.
Yeah.
Not music videos, but the whole Futurecast Now thing. He thought the whole thing was stupid. He didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Which was ridiculous considering how many subscribers they got in such a short amount of time and how much feedback they were getting. They were getting a lot of positive feedback. Mm-hmm. Man, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No, and all the stuff they were doing, they had claymation in there and everything else. I was very impressed by all that stuff. It's just ridiculous to think that it all just took such a downhill turn And like I said, like there's so many characters in there. I don't know. There's just people that you're gonna have to explain, why they're not there, and it's not hard to do. You can do it like in a few minutes. It's really not all that fucking difficult, but it definitely has to be done because I'm sure there's people there that are original fans or people that are probably oh, holy crap, Futurecast Now's back, and they're probably gonna be maybe lost or a little confused about what happened. But that's.
We have uploaded one new video, and that's kind of given people a taste of what's to come. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Oh, was it when you and your drummer are playing in the garage and Mike walks up? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I've seen that. No, it's good. It's funny too. Like that's a good way to describe it. And if you guys just expand more on that, I think it'll be fine. You guys are funny guys. It's not fucking hard. No. It really isn't.
The whole thing right now, though, is before we, give it our all with more Futurecast Now, it's keeping the foundation of the band built back up again because
it's important.
It kind of fell apart and needs to be salvaged, and so we're having new songs because we're not even going to play any of the old songs because Jeff isn't around to teach us the old songs.
Yeah, no joke.
So, and
Jeff was a pretty goddamn amazing guitar player. It's kind of hard to fill his shoes. He's pretty goddamn crazy.
Oh yeah, he's definitely way better than me.
Yeah, it's like better than me too, man. Like he's fucking. I remember watching it's like holy shit. No, Jeff's good. So that's hard. It's like definitely the style of the band's going to change because you guys have to change it up. And not that you're a bad guitar player. You're far from a bad guitar player, but it's
His technique was spot on, and he was a perfectionist.
Yes,
so he would never stand for a sour note. He would not allow himself to play a sour note in front of anyone or for record anything like that.
He was also into metal, so his style fucking displayed that he liked metal. So it just that's why he wrote songs the way he wrote songs. He had a metal guitar, dude. I mean, it's just like that's the way it was.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Something I like now, though, is that Michael Coe has kind of taken over, Jeff's, role, I guess. So I don't really feel a lot of pressure to fill Jeff's shoes because, Mike is playing rhythm guitar now and writing a lot of the songs. I mean, I've been, adding some of my songs and, contributing as much as I could and helping to jam and write new stuff, but a lot of it has been Michael. And there have been times when, we haven't practiced in a day or two, and he comes over and he's like, guys, I have 3 new songs, and they're awesome, you gotta listen to them, here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. And,
no, that's awesome, though, because, for you, I know especially for you, because I know you so well, I know other bands that you've been in, like that last band that you were in with the girl, and the same drummer that you have now, you guys had a real issue about how you wrote everything, and you were in charge of doing everything, you were in charge of getting everybody in the same place. That must have been a headache. I can't imagine having to constantly do that. It's not, that's not fun. Yeah. And then getting shows all set up, and you're the one that's dragging everything back and forth, and you're the only one that's really has his heart in it. It's bullshit, dude. It's not fucking fair to you. And anyway, so it's good that finally you're in a group where everyone's carrying their own weight. And it's very fucking important because, with me and music and stuff like that, I'm so, jaded towards it, and I feel that there's not a lot of, and this is bad because I love music and I can sing and I've been working on some stuff or whatever else, and I probably should really I want to work with you on beats because I think that's a good way to go for me because it's a lot more just hands on and we can just write stuff, and if we play shows it won't be fucking hard, we can just do whatever, but we can just DJ, and there's all these DJing programs now we can use that's just so much easier, but that's really the direction I've gone with music. But it's good to still see that you want to do live music and you still want to play it's good, man. You got to keep the dream alive. You got to keep on keeping on.
Well, I mean, after all the different bands I've been in, especially after the last one, and such a negative experience that it was, my whole thing was kind of the same. I'm very jaded by music. I'm jaded by the music industry, and I, never really wanted to try to start a new band again. But then Michael Coe comes along, good friend of mine. I like him. I trust him. I know that he fucking is a dedicated, productive person. And, he already has this band with 18,000 followers online and, all this shit, already
it's not
built up.
Jump in it. Yeah. It's not like you're jumping into something that's like has no legs. It's already been.
Yeah, it's not like I'm meeting some guys at the bar somewhere like, hey, you guys want to start a band? It's like, hey, I have a band. Do you want to be a part of it?
Yeah.
It's already ready to fucking go.
Yeah. No, which is a lot better. No,
and honestly, me and Michael have like had conversations where we're both kind of in the same mentality where we're getting older, and this project right now is like our last shot, our last push that we are going to give towards live music and traditional band type of thing.
Yeah.
And whatever the results are, we're going to be happy with it because we had fun doing it. And whatever the results are, we'll have that for the rest of our lives.
That's all that fucking matters. Like, people out there that are listening to this, if you made it this far, if you play music, you should only play music for yourself, not for other people. You shouldn't be having these delusions where you think you're going to be the next Bruno Mars or whatever else. You're not going to do yourself any service because you're going to end up being disappointed. You should take each day for what it is and just enjoy what you're doing. Because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, how can you expect other people to enjoy what you're doing? So it's just one of those things. You can't. It's not healthy. I think period not healthy to beat yourself up and go, oh, this is how the music has got to be, and if I don't do this by this time, I'm not going to be a success and I'm a failure and blah blah blah. It's like that's not the right way to look at anything. You should take it for what it is and just keep on keeping on. And like you guys already have fucking 14 songs written. I think that's an excellent place to start, and you're only going to get more songs written. And just keep writing new songs and keep the energy alive and keep positive. It's going to be fine, you know?
Yeah.
It's like one of those things. And I say the same thing to your YouTube channel. You should definitely get back onto it and just keep that energy alive. Maybe only tell yourself, hey, I'm going to make one video a month. And that's all I'm going to fucking do. And it's not going to be a long, like, whatever video. It's just going to be talk about stuff I'm interested in, maybe like a space month recap, and that's it. I'm like, for me, I want to get my podcast going good, and there's a few things I want to do. And I just keep doing it. Don't give up. Don't think you're a failure because you haven't gotten to the point that you think you should be at yet. That's a worst way. And that's to anybody that's listening to this. That's the worst way to do things. Just keep doing it. If you love doing it, keep doing it. Don't let anyone fucking stop you.
Absolutely. Very wise words of wisdom.
Yeah, I'm coming from a very not wise guy. But I've had enough failure in my life to understand, like, you can only do things for yourself. You can't do things for other people. And that's just the way it is. Yeah. So, we're in an hour mark here. We're gonna probably wrap it up here in the next 5-10 minutes. Is there anything else, Mike, that you want to say, or is there anything that you want to get in?
I just want to challenge you, I guess, and challenge myself at the same time that for each thing that we put out from, let's say for the next month. Okay. Whether it be a video or a podcast or a new song or whatever one of us releases, the other has to reciprocate with something of their own.
I think that's a good idea.
Be unrelated.
I think that's a good idea.
We have to.
I think that's a good idea because it's going to keep both of us motivated. And that type of, not that's competition, but that competitive
friendly competition.
It's friendly competition. Like, oh, he's doing it, I'm going to do it. I think that's a good idea because it's going to keep both of us with our heads up. And no, it's good because I need someone to go like, okay, he did that, I'll do that. And we can work together too on things. And no, that's a good idea, Mike. That really is a good idea because the more we do, the better we'll get at it. And that's what, I mean, you're already fucking good at what you do anyways with all that space stuff and whatever else, and your beats are really fucking good. By the way, check out Mike's beats, ReverbNation.com. I'll have all the links below. ReverbNation.com/Orbital Transit, his band that he does Myco, ReverbNation.com/AudioMartyr. Yeah, we'll have all those links. And just your space channel, Mike, is it YouTube.com/OTMichael?
That's right, OTMIKHAIL. Or just type in Epic Future Space to the search bar, and you'll.
If you type in Epic Future Space, you'll find him. A great series, very informative. If you like space or anything like that, that is the place to go and get information. Great videos, very enthusiastic, full of information, and fun to watch. And I think that whole combination is what space really needs. For me, I've been working with Asa Celarelli. I can't even say his fucking name. Asa. I just call him Asa because I can't fucking pronounce his goddamn name. I've made some videos. He's on my featured channel page. Funny guy. I've been doing that a little bit. I'm gonna get back and doing podcasts because I really want to do my own thing. I love working with Asa, but I feel like that's like his stuff. It's not my own stuff, you know. And I'm just helping out, which is nothing wrong with that. I love helping Asa, but I really want to get into doing my own thing and make a little bit more of a presence known on here because plus I want to do radio broadcasting in the future, and I want to do radio and all that good stuff. And this is definitely a good place to start and get my bearings, you know, and everything else. And pretty much, is that all you gotta say, Mike? Is there anything else?
No, fuck yeah, dude. This has been another awesome random shit.
No, this has been a great random shit. I think this podcast is probably one of our best, to be honest with you, that we've ever done. Guys, thank you for listening. This is Random Shit. You're listening to Kyle
and Space Mike at Astra.
At Astra. All right, guys, thank you for listening, and until next time, keep it real, I guess, or whatever else. All right, later, guys. Peace out, home.